Penn State has concluded their search for their next head men's basketball coach after announcing the hiring of Micah Shrewsbury. Alongside Director of Athletics Sandy Barbour, I'm Mitch Gerber. Sandy, before you flip the page towards the next chapter, what was your biggest takeaway from this past season?
Yeah, I'm just really proud of the young men in our program and their effort, their resilience, their persistence, and through really challenging times. Whether you want to talk about the pandemic or our coaching transition, I think they showed a lot of character and a lot of grit. And alongside that, I certainly am indebted, and we are, to Jim Ferry and the staff for the job that they did, because they confronted those same challenges. And Jim really, his leadership kept the guys focused, gave them an opportunity to have, all in all, a successful season in terms of being able to play, experience success. They had some great wins. They had really some close games, and I just really am indebted to those young men and Coach Ferry and the staff for giving us a season when it might not have been otherwise possible.
Micah is regarded as one of the top young coaches by national media members at just 43 years of age. What were the key factors behind hiring Coach Shrewsbury?
Well, we had a long time to vet candidates, and that really gave us the opportunity to dig in and really understand who our candidates were, what their experiences were all about, what they valued, what was important to them, how they might run a program. And I'll tell you, Micah was a name that came to us very early on. I was intrigued and very interested from the beginning. I would say based on his background, based on the experiences he would bring to the table, but at two programs that certainly are operating at a really high level of success in college men's basketball in both Purdue and Butler. And then I don't think you can discount those 6 years in the NBA. He's told me, Brad Stevens has told me he got a PhD in coaching during those 6 years in the NBA. And so all of that together really intrigued me from what he might bring as a basketball coach. And then once you meet him and you have an opportunity to spend time with him, his values align with those of Penn State. He's going to be about developing young men, not just on the basketball court, but in the classroom, in the community, from a character standpoint. And that fits who we are. And so it was immediately apparent that Michael was a great fit for us, and then we just took some time to make sure he was the best fit for us, and I think he absolutely is.
How much of a role did Coach Shrewsbury's experience in the Big Ten play during this hire?
That's always a plus. He's not going to go up against anybody this next year that he's not familiar with, and that's certainly a plus. I don't think it wasn't a limiting criteria for us in our search, but it certainly is a big plus and very, very helpful. And we had that in several of our candidates.
What are the expectations for Coach Shrewsbury and his staff once they arrive in Happy Valley?
Well, the expectations are that we build on the success that we have had. And as I've said pretty publicly, what's our challenge? It's that we've had success as a basketball program. It's just never been sustained. And so I think the expectations are that we build, that we show progress, that we develop young men every day, and I think that can start from day one, and that we'll be patient. I will. Our fan base will. This will not be easy, but that we continue to progress. We get better every day. That we recruit well. We recruit the right young men, and that this program continues to get better and better, and build to something that absolutely is sustainable year in and year out.
You've mentioned the word build multiple times. What's the ultimate principle to attain that success?
I think it's identity. Each and every, as you look around Penn State and you look at our programs, they all have an identity. It's a little bit different. It's built on some building blocks around Penn State values, but obviously each sport is different, and our coaches are different personalities. Again, great values fits for Penn State, but I think the piece that Micah has and needs to focus on for us is let's build a basketball identity that we can recruit to, that we can bring fans to, and let's have that be consistent.
What made this coaching search different than any other during your time as AD at Penn State?
Well, certainly the amount of time that the job was open. That this just, tactically was that was very different. We could openly talk to people about the job being open. Typically, you have a much shorter window, and again, I think that certainly was very advantageous in my mind to knowing we got the right person, because we had an opportunity to fully vet, and so that was different. I think that's probably the biggest difference. One of the things that I've loved for my 7 years is the opportunity when you have a head coaching opening to go out and talk about Penn State, talk about our hopes and dreams and aspirations, talk about our history, talk about what is here in Happy Valley for a potential coaching candidate, and as I talk about all the time, it's all about the people. It's all about who supports us, our fan base, our Penn State Nation, our 750,000 living alumni, and Penn Staters all over the world. That's consistent from search to search, and I love having that as what I go out and talk about in any of our head coaching searches.
What importance will be stressed on the everyday facility growth to achieve a high rate of success?
That's a really important piece of the building block, Mitch. The locker room facility upgrade that we just did, the strength and conditioning and sports med that we're about to undertake. Those are all pieces. Those are needed for today's student athlete to give them the opportunity to grow and develop and train and have the right conditions for success, both training and competitively, and in the classroom. And what I talk to all of our candidates about is, let's partner. I'm looking for a men's basketball coach to partner with, and let's continue to build this together. You're the basketball expert. Let's talk about what it takes. And the environment is changing around us. So that may what it was 2 years ago, what it might be today, what it might be 2 years from now. We're going to have to be nimble. We're going to have our favorite coronavirus word, right? Nimble. We have to be flexible. And I think that we'll continue to evolve that.
Sandy, congratulations on the new hire and appreciate your time.
I'm really excited about it. Can't wait to welcome Micah and Molly and their 4 kids to Happy Valley.